Welcome back, everyone. So today we're going to hopefully finish a bit of the stuff off on that truck, but we're going to get the last of the potash out and chuck it onto the spreader there. Cal's got one paddock to go. I believe we need about 6.5 tonne in order to get that done, and he's got, I think he said 4.2 on, so along with this, and then we'll just make sure with the maps that it's all going to work. So got a little bit of shoveling and yeah, we'll hopefully get it all working. Right, so we've got quite a bit on the back there. According to this, we've got 10 tonne. So 10 tonne is I think it's about 3.5 tonne more than what we need. So I'll just check to make sure that he has done every single thing that we need. And then he had one issue with it, and it was Mum's mid, the paddock we're about to go in. The VR map was being silly. So we'll see. I'm just gonna have a look at it, and then what we might do is I'll pull up my computer and we will make a new map and use all 10 tonne out in Mum's mid, and yeah, see how that goes. Right, John Deere is it's very good until it gets very confusing. The one issue I've got is that tractor still doesn't have the data sync available, so I can't send the files to it. We needed to wait until we finished with potash before we could wipe the screen, and it's a whole thing, so we've got to wait for that. So you could put it on by USB only if you have a degree in John Deere, and then you know how to do that, because it doesn't. It's not very straightforward. Their system, they want you to, be sending it by the cloud or whatever. So long story short is I can't get it on the USB, and when we had Jake out here doing it last time, it took him about 2.5 hours to get it on the USB onto that thing. So it's not just a basic farmer who can't do it, the salesman can't do it either. But the idea was to change the zones. So that zone there, the green is 60, the yellow is 40, and the red was 0. So that's a total of 6.5 tonne that we need, and we got 10 tonne on board. So I was going to change my zones to the 0 was going to be 20, leave it at 40, and then change the 60 to 75, and that gets us to about 9 and a bit tonne, and that'd be ideal. But we can't do that. So and I just had a look on his screen, because he did spread one outside lap on there, and the rate was changing. So I think he might have got a bit confused when he thought that the rate was just constant, because where he was, it was just a constant rate. So yeah, he's heading out there now, as he just heard. I'll just follow him out, make sure it's still all working, and then yeah, the plan will be just to go and spread what we can. We're going to be left over with probably about 2.5, 3 tonnes, something like that, and then we'll find somewhere to go and spread it, somewhere that needs it, and get it all done. Then that means that can get washed, the loader can get washed, the fert shed can get washed, and it means we can that'll be ready for doing mice bait spreading and slater baits, and then the shed will be ready for fert when that gets delivered, and Flexi end's getting delivered next week. So things are all happening. Okay, so in here you can see Henry's gone and chucked on our 2-inch hose, and then he's brought it around the back here, and what we need to do is we're going to put it on the right angle here, and then we need to hop in the tank today, chuck that in, and then that's how we're going to agitate it. I did think about doing it at the front, less hose, so I was thinking about chucking it at the front there, and we could have had it up halfway, but then I thought, no, I don't know what's going to happen when all this stuff is together. But if you're agitating it, and let's just say it was below the level was below where the agitation was, could it cause foam? Because we know that it foams in a boom spray when you use your manganese, your copper, all that sort of stuff. So I didn't want to have a big foam ball in here. My next thought was, oh, well, why don't you just, why not just go through the side there? Which, again, less pipe. You can do that nice and easy. And my reasoning behind that was, let's just say that this has the potential to turn to a sludge. I hope to God that it doesn't. But if it does, we're only agitating this tiny little quarter here. So it's the same issue when you go to back this one or this one. So I thought, well, bugger it. Let's just bring the hose all the way to the back. We'll raise it up a little bit, so probably somewhere around here. And then that way the agitation will be going through the floor. So yeah, that's my reasoning behind it. Now obviously in here, these side pods could end up with a sludge if it does turn to sludge. I hope that it doesn't. But yeah, that's the reasoning for putting this at the back. I know it's more hose, but it's it's what made sense. But Henry, at the moment, he's gone down to the rock. He's just looking at to see if the ladder from the Sonic, we could just grab that and just cut it off and weld 1, 2 on there or something like that. So we've got a ladder, because at the moment it's sort of that. So we just need something so we can get up, because there'll be times where we'll need to shovel stuff up the top there to make it so it's even, so the tarp fills and all that. And then the next thing is we're going to weld like a block or something in between here to stop this from moving. It doesn't have a huge amount of movement in it because we've welded up that box on the other side, but people going to climb on that, it would cause it to weaken and eventually damage. So that's where we're at for the day.
I'm definitely not strong enough for that.
Lift me up. If you went like 1, 2, it'd work.
Just everything's in an awkward spot with that there.
Yeah.
Just needs to do that.
The only thing is making that strong enough. Welding on there, because it'll bend around. This ladder or step or whatever you want to call it is off the old Sonic. We're recycling all parts from the Sonic on this project. As you saw there, it would work. The only thing we're concerned about is just welding that onto the pipe here. Might not be strong enough. We could give a go at notching these pipes out, or these boxes out, just to give us a bit more strength. And I guess we'll see how that goes. We only really need something just so that we can get up here. We're not going to be getting up all the time, and just something that makes it a little bit easier is going to be a bit nicer. We came up with a solution. We're going to cut those square pipes off and just use that, and I guess you call it the second step, the top step, and we'll weld that all the way along on the round bar there, and then that way, anything's going to be awkward climbing up on that side. It's just the way the ladder is where you are. It's just going to be awkward. And we don't want anything that sticks out, because we want it to try and be as streamlined as possible. We've already got this sticking out this side, so we will go with that, see how that goes. So while Henry does that, I'm going to find something to box out the thing from stopping that from moving. Okay, this might make a bit more sense now. So this is obviously the old tyre carrier for the spare wheel tyre, and then this here is the block that I've just cut and put in, because now it might not show up on camera, but there's slight movements doing that. And if we're using this to step as our first step to get up to the step that Henry's now cutting out, we're going to obviously create issues with it moving, cracking welds over there, moving pipes that we don't want pipes moving. So chuck that up in there, give that a weld, and then that'll be solid. Right, he's ready for a test. You do the first test, Dubby?
Yeah, see if I can melt my shoes.
No, you shouldn't melt your shoes.
Fine, easy.
Look at that. Perfect. Right, the last one. Well, the last sort of job that we do for here before Henry's going to paint it is drill a hole in it.
Smack bang in the middle there.
I reckon that'll be ideal.
Easy.
Now we can agitate our tank. Which way? Oh, that goes in. Right. Dexter. Perfect. That is the majority of things done. So tomorrow Henry's going to strip this and paint this so that the arm all looks nice and not like that. The last thing we want to do is hook up an air line into the 3-inch tap, the 3-inch line, delivery line, which is this. So we're going to do this, and we've got that there, and what we're going to do is plumb that into the brake tank, air tank back there. So I just talked to Brett, he delivers our FlexN, and he said that that's how he does it, and it's 100% worth it because it means your line's empty, you don't get any mess, and it's light. So we're definitely going to fiddle around with it now and figure out how to do it. We've just drained the air on the truck because there's no bung on that, so we're not too sure. You know, we want to make sure there's no air in there when we go to undo it, otherwise it's going to be like a bullet firing out. So that's why we're having a bit of a sparkly water, and then that way we can get fittings, everything like that when we go to town, and we can make sure we've got the right thing. The next thing we also need to do is just go and measure up what we're going to do with the FlexN, with the liquid cart, and just make sure we've got all the fittings for that, so that next week we can do all that, because AFGRI's here right now, they're working on it, and we want to be able to fill that next week, test the unit out, have water coming out, and sink it in the ground. Okay, the fitting we're going to take off is that one right there, and we might need a proper spanner. We're assuming the air's all out, but that's why we're going to crawl along here and make it all difficult for ourselves. And we thought, why not, use the actual pit? So
That's got air in it.
it does.
puts this in now.
Okay. Right. Well, we don't want to keep on doing that. Oh, hang on, we're on the wrong tank.
Oh, there is 2 tanks.
We want to be on that tank.
We do want to be on that tank. Alright, I'll do this up again. I swear I looked under searching for how many tanks. I was like, oh yeah, there's only 1 tank, so just start under the tap.
The one we get to first. No, we want to be on that tank because it's bigger.
And closer.
I did think this one looked small when we got in here. Alright, move forward to the next one.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be standing here, I'm going to get fucking shot.
Hopefully not. Nowhere.
Nowhere?
No.
Cool. You don't like me being in the hole. That's the bung. So what we can do now is we'll see if we've got any fittings here. We won't. We can take this to town, get a barb fitting to go down there, and we're thinking about 1/2 inch line is probably going to be the go. Just something nice and sort of big. You don't want that tiny little air line. So this is a what is this? 3/4 inch. No, this is inch. So it'll be a 1/2 inch into an inch, and we'll have a tap here, and we'll fire it, and it should be good. But at least for now we can get it sorted. The next thing is going to figure out how we're going to do it. If we go like this, or to go like that, and have the right angle coming off here. Got to figure that out. But yeah, once we go to town, which is the unfortunate thing of town being 120 kilometres away, can't just duck down and grab a fitting and come back. We're stationary now until that's done. We've got that all in there, so it's all ready to roll for when I get back, I guess on Monday now, with all the fittings that we can do to finish this off. And we'll be able to finish this off as well because this will be all painted and ready to roll. I've got these now because I'm going to go down. We're going to work out exactly what we need when we're down at the on the liquid cart there to see what we need fitting wise and everything like that to make sure it's all good on there. But yeah, all in all, pretty close to being ready, which is good. So we'll leave the video there. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.